What's up? Honor Hammer 26 here. I'm here to give you my Death Before Dishonor 7 Night 1 review. Overall, this show, I say, is kind of similar to Night 1. I honestly do think this is the better complete show, even though I'm going to give it the same rating. But the best two matches this weekend were both on Night 1. But this show is still worth... I'm going to give it an 8.0. I still feel it is worth buying, and I definitely recommend it, but it doesn't live up to Death Before Dishonor standards at all. I mean, the one in 07 was, I think, is underrated and is amazing. The one in 08 is amazing as well. So let's just get right to it. First, the opener, we have Kevin Steen and Generico versus the Super Smash Brothers. Again, this is a very good showing from the Super Smash Brothers, and I definitely like this because they're two Canadian teams. Very, very, very good opener. Actually, I preferred the match with the Briscoes on Night 1 over this, but this was still a good match. Had a ton of fun watching it. I'm going to give it 3 1/4. Please bring the Super Smash Brothers back, and please give us an explanation on why Dose isn't wrestling on Master Ring of Honor. That's kind of the thing that confuses me. I mean, if he explained it and that makes sense, then I'd be perfectly fine with it, but that's just that. Alright, next we get Frankie the Mobster versus Bison Smith. Frankie the Mobster did do better this night than he did on Night 1, because he sucked ass on Night 1, but he still did, he did okay, which is leaps and bounds better than he did the night before, versus Bison Smith. Bison Smith is probably the best guy to work with for Frankie the Mobster, even though these are two guys who are billed at over 260 pounds. And this match, I'm going to give it 2 stars. Nothing much here. I mean, Bison Smith had a couple good moves. Frankie the Mobster did show a little bit of good in-ring, and the crowd was into him, and that's basically his job, because that's, I guess, why they brought him in, to have a kind of undercard matches that are okay, to kind of build him up a little bit, but I don't really see it. Alright, that's that. Next we got the Toronto Gauntlet featuring D'Lo Brown, Davey Richards, Sanjay Dutt, Necro Butcher, Jimmy Raven, Jerry Lynn. Alright, opening was D'Lo Brown and Jerry Lynn. This was this one about 4 minutes. This was a pretty good match. I always want to see those two work, and this was a pretty good little match they had here, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was D'Lo Brown's last not HD net taping. Kind of a weird way for him to go out, but they didn't know at the time what was going to happen. So that's that. Then it was Lynn versus Sanjay Dutt. They had a better match than this one, about 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Better match than D'Lo Brown and Jerry Lynn had, and then they sold how tired Jerry Lynn was after pinning D'Lo and Sanjay. Then Jimmy Raven came in and kind of pinned Jerry Lynn very quickly. And that was kind of a squash, but it worked the storyline because he had just had 2 tough matches. Then Necro Butcher came in, and they need to work with some type of weapons, because this was just okay at best. Their little match that went about 6 minutes, I think. And then Jimmy Rave did... Necro Butcher got eliminated by, I think, disqualification or something like that. And then D. Richards and Jimmy Rave come in, and then I know they had great chemistry from their match at Unified, which I think is a very underrated match on that card. And well, they also faced it a couple of shows earlier in 2006. I don't think they've been in the ring since then, if I'm not mistaken. And they put on probably the best match of all the singles matches of all of them. I'm gonna give this 3 3/4 stars. I really like this. I like this idea, kind of 5 really short matches. If this match didn't have Necro Butcher in it, I'd be giving it 4 stars. I mean, just well, not saying that Necro Butcher's bad, but his performance with Jimmy Raven in this match kind of brought this match down a little bit. So 3 3/4 stars. Great job there. Next, we get the clusterfuck of the night in the European rules match: Claudio, Castagnoli, and Brent Albright. I did not like this at all. Oh, this was hard to watch in parts. I mean, they have good chemistry, but just the rules just took over so much, and just, I mean, you can hear when Bobby Cruz is doing the in-ring introduction, someone yell after he's done, "What the fuck's that supposed to mean?" I mean, I'm thinking the exact same thing. I think Bobby Cruz mispronounced a couple things and screwed up the rules a little bit. I mean, I love Bobby Cruz as a ring announcer, but I met him in Manassas too, but this was just very hard to watch, in my opinion. I'm going to give it a 1.5 stars. I mean, they picked it up towards the end, but that couldn't save this match. I mean, it was not good at all. I didn't like it. Next, we got the intermission, and then at some point, Ric Flair came out, and he talked about his history in Toronto, his match at WrestleMania 18 with The Undertaker, which I thought was a good move, but they didn't mention WWE My Name at all. and this was probably the best Ric Flair thing in the show, and probably the best one they had with probably the best one that they've had kind of like this to date. Maybe with one with Bruno Sammartino at Dishonor V Night 2 was really good as well, but this was the best one they've had in a long time like this. So I'll give that. Next we had the match was originally supposed to be Tyler Black versus Nigel McGuinness, but we got Tyson Dukes instead to face Tyler Black. These had surprisingly good chemistry for the first time Tyson Dukes has appeared in Ring of Honor. He's a local guy. For those of you who don't know him, he's committed to the TNA 2008 World X Cup for Team International, and he was impressive there. I wanted to see more stuff of him. Got to see it here. This was a pretty good match he had with Tyler Black. Actually, it was good. Really liked it here. I really enjoyed that they were trying to give Tyson Dukes a good quality opponent the first time he came in. I feel that if they did that kind of when they bring in more known guys for an area like Tyson Dukes and just more guys like that, like if they go to the Midwest and they bring in guys like a Mike Seidel, who I think should be in Ring of Honor, or Drake Younger, who a lot of people want Ring of Honor, me being one of the front people on that, and just give them more quality opponents, I feel that they get more over and have more of a roster. 3 stars for that match. Good job there. Next we got a no disqualification match with Colt, Cabana and Joey Ryan. Holy crap. This match was so funny. I was laughing hysterically. Colt Cabana's pre-match promo was awesome. And this is just what you would expect from these two. Just a comedy match with some serious spots, but then just there's a storyline. It was just great. I don't want to spoil any of this for you, but there was a kind of cool moment with Todd Sinclair getting involved. I mean, I don't want to spoil any of that for you, besides just that Todd Sinclair does get involved, and it was really funny. And I'm going to give it 3 stars. Just it's kind of hard to rate a match like this, in my opinion, but 3 stars. Like I said, it was good. It's not an awesome, great comedy match, but it's good, and it's on the right place in the show. Then we get Austin Aries coming to the ring saying that Kenny Omega will not get his title shot tonight, and then Kenny Omega calls Austin Aries tights, look like Skittles, so I thought that was pretty cool. And so the match was Kenny Omega and the Briscoe brothers versus Austin Aries, Kenny King, and Rhett Titus. This match was not as good as the Toronto Gauntlet, in my opinion, but I felt that this match was also 3 3/4 stars, but this could have been great, but I feel that there were a couple spots that were kind of lagging a little bit. There was kind of a time in the ring where Rhett Titus and I think it was Mark Briscoe, and they just kind of stood there waiting for Aries and Omega for a little while, but they did do some moves, but they kind of just stood there. Kind of knocked me off a little bit. I was like, what is that? But then the match picked up really well, and I really liked it. So 3 3/4 stars. Good job there. And for those of you who know Ispa, who's on here, he's the one that got picked on by Austin Aries, so that was pretty cool there. And main event, Lance Storm versus Chris Hero. As I said, Lance Storm has not lost one step. This is match of the night, 4 stars. Great job, even though I liked Hero's and Storm's match the night before with Richards and Steen a lot better. Actually, not that much better. I mean, in my opinion, that match was match of the weekend, but this match was great still. I definitely enjoyed it. If this is Storm's last appearance, he definitely did the right thing. I definitely appreciate Lance Storm, and his after-match promo was just great. I loved it. And some things in this match that I think they should have banned Shane Hagedorn from Rishon. That kind of took off the match, in my opinion. I mean, this is kind of a epic thing in Canada, and just there's a manager getting involved. I don't appreciate that. And just I mean, Chris Hero. This is where I've started to see Chris Hero can be a huge main event in Ring of Honor. This is the first match I've absolutely seen it on DVD. I heard from the live reports that was going to be the truth, but this is where I finally see it. His look finally is good, and he finally has a good in-ring match, great in-ring match, probably his second best match in Ring of Honor singles match. So that's my review. I'll see you guys later.